Hey guys, welcome to our first live for our Max Salur week. We're very happy to be here for the first time. I want to first thank our people, our team, Shandia, Pauline, Tomas, our manager. Thank you very much for helping us to create this series of events. Today, we're going to be talking about time management. And as you know, everything in life is about time and timing. I do want to dedicate this episode to my cousin, Betsy, who just lost her husband this week in a tragic accident. So, to you, Betsy, your son Christian, the rest of the family, and Rafi, our hearts go to you guys. And nothing more timely than thinking about time, right? How we spend our time. And this week we started our Max Allure week. We call it Max Allure. It's become the most vibrant alluring you for our mastermind. Our mastermind is a physician entrepreneur mastermind where we help physicians through entrepreneurship tips and helping to become better as much as we can through entrepreneurship. And this week on Mondays, which is what we're going to do on Mondays from now on, we're going to be introducing our topic of the week. Okay? So this Monday, we introduce time management. On Tuesdays, we're going to be introducing our podcast. So our podcast is called Design Your Physician Life. And this week, we had Dr. Christina Shemby. She actually is the creator of Time for Your Life. There, she helps her clients or students to basically help through designing their physician life or whatever it is that they're doing in life and organizing their time. And we had tons of tips from her. We love Dr. Christina Shemby. Then on Wednesdays, we are going to give you, from now on, some tips, some exercises, challenges, so that you can complete. This week, we talked about time management. So we said, what are you going to tackle next in your life? How are you going to decide to take control of your time in your life? Thursdays, we will be doing, and we're going to be thinking about what other people have said about different topics that we're covering. This week, we were thinking about the fact that we can do many things at the same time. So you can do two things at the same time, but you can truly focus on one thing. And Fridays like today, we hope to give you something of value where we, like kind of a workshop, we can talk about that topic that we've been working on the whole week, and then give you something that you can start to produce some positive changes for your life. So today we're going to be doing a couple of exercises. This exercise actually we learned in our podcast. If you heard our podcast, you already heard Dr. Christina Shemby go through them a little bit, and we're going to hopefully do them with you today. So one of them is going to go through the 5 levels of why, and the other one is going to be to create the ideal schedule for your life. Before we do that, let's talk about a little bit about a story. I want to give you a story to put it into context. Not too long ago, maybe you have probably heard yourself or your friends or somebody else saying that they're overwhelmed and they're tired, they're fatigued, they don't know what to do, they have so many things they want to do or they have to do and they just don't know how to complete it, and they wish they had 25 hours when we have only 24 hours a day. They're not sleeping good, they're not doing exercising or spending time with their families and all these things. And the truth is that we do this to ourselves. But the other day, I was in the physician's lounge in our hospital, and we're very fortunate to have a physician's lounge. Still, I know that many places have gotten rid of the physician's lounges, but we do have that available. And there was this doctor who I see from time to time, and she's a wonderful physician. And I saw her; she looked tired, and she didn't only look tired. She told me how tired she was. She told me how she could not spend time with her children. They're young, very young, within, like 1, 2, 3-year-old children, and goes very early in the morning to the hospital, spends the whole day, goes very late home doing notes, rounding. And she just was telling me herself how she couldn't really spend the time that she wanted to spend with her kids. And how even though, you know, she was doing all these things, she would get home and still have more notes to do. So as she's telling me all these things, looking tired, looking like she's not really taking care of herself, telling me about these things, this other physician comes through, and then boom, he gives her the opportunity, or so he thinks that he's giving her the opportunity of participating in 2 new committees. And without thinking, somebody who was telling me how tired she is, then she says yes, to not only 1, but to 2 committees in the hospital. And when you're in a committee in the hospital, you have certain responsibilities. You know, it's a very important position, and, you know, you feel honored to be invited to be in a committee in the hospital. But you have to do a lot of things. You have to participate in committees, you have to make decisions, you have to do the research, you have not only answering 1 email, you're going to have meetings, and they can be during the day or after hours. And they will take away from the time of you seeing those patients and doing those notes, and from you to be able to get home on time. So without thinking, she went ahead and said yes. I'm thinking, why did she say yes, right? So that's very important for us to understand why we say yes when we might probably, you know, it would have been better maybe in a particular situation that we have said no. And when we're saying yes or when saying no, that's all about time, right? You're spending time doing these particular things, and you have to put them into your schedule. And if you're already tired, fatigued, maybe they get you at a point where you're just so low, like you have no energy, and you just say, you know, whatever, 1 more is not going to make a difference. Or, you know, if I don't do this, everybody else is doing it and I have to do it because of this thing, or whatever the reason is. But these are things that you're saying yes or no to. And you have to learn to say yes and no to different situations that you're confronted. Maybe they're just opportunities, business opportunities that you're given, family time, or situations. You know, I don't know why did I schedule this birthday party for my kids when I had so many other things to do this day? So all those decisions are decisions that you make on your own. And not too long ago, I was confronted in a situation when I was really very upset about the situation around me. And when I went to mention this to the person in charge, they really told me, they confronted me, said, you know what? So you're telling me that you're unhappy with the decision that you made? And you know what? It was my fault. I was the one who decided to become part of this situation. I was the one who decided to admit, you know, myself into this situation. And when we're thinking about saying yes or saying no, we have to focus on what our values are. And many of us don't really plan. We never sit down to see what our mission and vision is in life for ourselves, like we would do with our businesses. It's very important that we do the same thing that we do with our businesses, in that way that we do it with our lives ourselves. So it's very important that we determine how we want to live our lives, what we want to represent, who do we want people to see that we are, that they can contribute, and how good we are with time for them when we're saying yes, right? So let's go through the exercise of the 5 whys. In this case, I'm gonna say that maybe I'm the lady who's presented with this opportunity to be in a committee for the hospital, and I am gonna say yes. Okay, so why do I want to say yes in my case? Well, I might want to say yes because everybody's doing it, right? And so that's the first why, because everybody's doing it. Then the second why, the second level of why is, well, why is everybody saying this? Why do I think that's important? Well, I think it's important because I want to belong, and I think that they're saying maybe that is good for your resume, right? For your career, for your CV. Like, okay, that's the second level of why. So why is it important to do that thing right now, specifically right now? Yeah, maybe if I don't do it right now, there's not going to be another opportunity that they ask me to be doing that. I'm like, really, are you sure? Is that why you're going to be doing that right now? So we're like, what, third, fourth level of why? And then we go down into a deeper why. Say, why do you really? Because what? It brings significance to my life. And then we're starting to see, okay, so why do you want significance to your life? And then you go there and there. Is that the way that you want to pursue your career? Is that the way that you want to live your life? And then you don't have to do this for every single event. You just do it for the things that you think are going to be big, interfering with the things that you want to complete in your life. You do the exercise of the 5 whys, and then you go why, and then you get into the real reasons why you're choosing to do something in your life. And it goes for anything. Why do you want to spend time with your family? Why do you want to get this job? Why do you want to get and work so many days a week or so many hours a week? And that will help you, in essence, to decide to say yes or no. And those whys will be based on what you have already chosen for your life, for your priorities, for your values. So hopefully you're making choices to manage your time that are related to the values that you have determined for your life. And you cannot control time. You cannot control how time passes. You cannot control when your last day is going to be in life, right? But you can control what you decide to do with your life. And that's the first thing that you really have to do. Understand that you have control of your life. Understand that you can make that change for your life, and that the time you can control. You don't have to leave that to others. Sometimes we're, as I said before, so tired that it doesn't matter. Like, people are throwing things at us, and we think that, oh, if I don't do this thing won't happen. But is it true? And we lose control of our lives, and we give that to others. So first, time management. You have, the basis is to understand what you want with your life, your vision, your mission, your own purpose in life. After that, you have to understand that you have the control, and then ask whys. And if you don't find the answer, just go through the levels of why do I want that? Then once you determine that, plan, right? So then we get to our ideal schedule. So you can have an ideal schedule for your day. You can have an ideal schedule for your week or for your month. And you can sit down and write these things down, especially, if you're tired and overwhelmed and you really want to break these patterns. You have to sit down and purposefully, with intention, go through these exercises. And time management is really not about necessarily having 25 hours, because we're not going to create them. It's really about how we can decide to purposefully manage our time. And so when we're designing our idea and our ideal schedule, let's just start with the day. Okay, what items do you want to put in that day? Well, I want maybe to every day have meditation or exercise, or if I have kids, I want to take them, to school, or bring them from school, or walk my pet, or call my family, or be with friends, or, really go to work. We have to put work there. But how much time do you want to spend at work? Which type of work do you want to have? And these are things that we have choices. And the reason for me, one of the whys for me to create the Max Allure Mastermind, is because many physicians feel that they don't have choices, and to the point that 300 to 400 physicians are committing suicide every year. That's 3 or 4 medical classes a year. And many of them, they feel like they don't have choices, but we have choices. And it's important to us, for our communities, if we want to keep good physicians taking care of us, that we understand that, and that we help physicians understanding this, and that us as physicians understand that. So if you want, for example, in your week to have maybe a day off, just work 4-day week, what changes in your life do you have to make? Sometimes we want to keep our lifestyle the same way it is, and those things might not match, but there are decisions that we will have to make. And those start with our values, with our purpose in life, and those you have to determine beforehand. So I hope that you are able to design your physician life, start scheduling your day, your week, your month, your year, maybe how many vacations you want to have, how much time off you want to have, which, things go align with your goals, what time you need for each. And then once you have determined your values, your purpose, that you're in control, your why for doing things, your schedule, you then go to your time boxing, where you start plugging things in. And it's a very important series. It's not only one thing that you have to do for your time management. It's a series of things that you do on purpose to be able to advance not only in your career, but also in your life. So going back to that example that I showed you, just think about in your life, which things would you change yourself? Is there something that you would do differently in that case if you were feeling overwhelmed, tired, maybe burnt out? Is there something that if you had education about these topics that you would do on your own, or you would share with somebody, with a friend, a physician friend, you would share with them to help them make decisions? I hope this has been helpful for you. I hope that you join us next week. Once again, I want to thank you for being with us. If you have any comments, just send it to us, to our page, Dr. Myrdalis Diaz Ramirez. We have our Maxalor Mastermind, and we also have our podcast, Design Your Physician Life. And every week we hope to bring you more topics that are hopefully of use for you, your friends, and our communities. Have a great day. Happy Mother's Day weekend, and I'll see you soon. Bye.